Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and I'm fucking back. What a 2 weeks this has been. I am happy to be doing this again, because let me tell you, it has been a rough couple of weeks, but I will get into that shortly because I am chomping at the bit to fire up a cigar. I have, it has been since... The last cigar I smoked was the last cigar I had on the show. So the Fuma Noche that I had like what feels like forever ago was the last cigar I had, and I am ready here. So I've got a fresh palate. I've got my bottle of water because I am drinking water like I'm just fiend these days, and I am ready to go. So let's get right into it. By the way, this is going to be an Ask the Pulpit episode, but we got other stuff to cover today first before we get to that. So first up, what am I smoking? You know, I looked through the humidor and I was trying to figure out, like, okay, dude, it's your first one back. Like, you know, you're on nearly 2 weeks of no smoking. Tomorrow, technically, I'm at 13 days of no smoking, and I'm like, what am I gonna smoke here? What can I possibly start this off with? You know, you got a fresh palate. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And the answer to that was the Red Anchor Gunner. It is a 6.5 by 42 cigar featuring an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Dominican binder, and filler made up of tobacco from the Dominican Republic. It's Dominican Habano specifically. There's other Dominican Republic tobacco in there, San Vicente and USA, Pennsylvania. And, you know, I like the Red Anchor. I saw it in the humidor. I haven't had one in quite some time. Probably the last Red Anchor I had was when I was up in New Hampshire for the Expo in September of last year. And it's like, you know, I think this is a good time as any to break out a Red Anchor. And so it is now time to cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family-owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. There's a little box on there on the order form where you can put comments. You know, let them know that I sent you there. And just remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. Ooh, man, even got the cut noise good. Damn. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was a little apprehensive, you know, getting on the mic tonight. I was a little like, little trepidatious, little, you know, not nervous, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's been a minute, you know? Like, am I rusty? Am I out of practice? And, you know, it's flowing. It's feeling good. So let's go ahead and get this guy cut here and move on. So, yeah, elephant in the room time. I have been fucking sick. I've been sick. You know, what exactly it was, kind of morphed a few different times. You know, I think where we ended up was kidney infection. How that happened, I have no freaking clue. But let me tell you, kidney pain sucks. It sucks really bad. And yeah, that episode. So I woke up Tuesday the 18th, which was the day that I dropped the episode that had the Fuma Noche in it, and that was the bad cigar advice episode, I think. I don't know. And I woke up that morning with just acute, stabbing, horrific pain in my kidney. And I mean, it was at the point it was causing nausea, you know, dry heaving. It was causing chills. I felt like I had a fever going on with it. And I'm normally one of those like, it's fine, take some medicine, tough it out, you know, whatever. I don't like going to the doctor. I'm not a fan of going to the doctor. And, but man, with this thing, it kicked the shit out of me. And so I went to the doctor that day, and sure enough, you know, there was testing done, and, you know, this and that and whatever. They put me on some antibiotics. A couple days later, 3 days later, they called me and said, hey, we did further testing, and the antibiotic we prescribed you isn't working against what you have. So we're putting you on a new antibiotic. So that was awesome. I don't blame them. You know, it's what it is. They put me on something that I think is common, and apparently I was a little uncommon, so they put me on something else. And I'll say, the next day after starting that new antibiotic, I started feeling better. Since then, it has been incremental, better by the day kind of situation, you know. Like right now, as I sit here right now, I am not 100%. I'm close, and from what the doctors told me, pain can still linger for about a week after the antibiotics end. So that's awesome. You know, I got that looking forward to look forward to. But yeah, you know, realistically, it sucks. And however, there have been benefits. There have been silver linings to this whole situation. One of which is it destroyed my appetite. Absolutely annihilated my appetite. And then from there, I had to determine what foods were good and bad to eat with, you know, what I was contending with. And so I've been on a very strict diet. I mean, that first day, that Tuesday, the 18th, I didn't eat a single thing all day. The second day, that Wednesday, I had a banana and a yogurt, I think. Maybe 2 yogurts and a banana. I don't remember. No, it was a yogurt, a banana, and 4 pieces of watermelon. I had cut up a watermelon, and I had 4 pieces of watermelon. So, I mean, I was eating next to nothing for the longest time. I've drank more water than I know what to do with. But the bottom line is, I have since we have last talked, since I last saw you, or came to you, you know, through the magic of podcasting and video casting, I'm down 25 pounds. So I got that going for me. You know, way to kickstart that whole process. But yeah, it's it's been an interesting 2 weeks, guys. I'm tired of my bed. I don't even want to look at my bed. I have laid in that bed so freaking much. Whatever. I don't even want to look in my bed or see my bed. My sleep pattern is completely and totally jacked up. I get maybe on average 2 to 3 hours before I have to wake up for pain pills or to go to the bathroom or something like that. So I haven't had a solid night's sleep since before this whole thing started. Yeah, it's been super pleasant. So the most I can tell you is listen to your body, and if something seems off, take care of it right away. You know, don't prolong it, because Lord knows what it could be. And I'm not saying I had signs of this or anything prior, but yeah, just you know, just pay attention to yourself. But anyway, I digress. I wanted to do this after I lit the cigar, and I cut the cigar and then just went down this road. So anyway, let's get the cigar lit. And while we light the cigar, because, you know, it's what we do, let's listen to the greatest commercial you've ever heard.
Some say cigars are all the same. It's just not true. It's you I have to blame.
Well, I don't know, 'cause what I know, there is a cigar called Aladino Corojo.
Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. They say authentic, so we're not confused, while the others say it's a word that's just abused.
I guess that's so, they can't compete. At least I'm sure Aladino can't be beat.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Cigars use authentic Corojo tobacco from JRE Tobacco. This is the greatest commercial you ever heard. Yeah.
All right. And we have the cigar lit. And I will admit, right off the bat, I'm tasting some smoke, you fucking asshole. I don't know. I think that lighter was turned up a little bit too high. Because it was like, oh my, that's a lot of flame. But, B, I need to get back in the game here. So, anyway, why don't we now go ahead and jump right into Ask the Pulpit.
Shall we play a game?
You talking to me? I have a question for you.
You gotta ask me nicely.
Ask me about my winner!
You got a question? You ask the 8-ball.
Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on, indeed. So you guys can get in on the fun by calling the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. Call, leave your questions, leave your comments, leave your criticisms, leave your cake recipes. I don't care what you call in for, but I think I like hearing from you. So anyway, let's go ahead and listen to the first call here. Maybe.
Nick, James with UPS again. Thank you for answering my question, and I appreciate your candor. Sitting here smoking a McAuliffe Red. It is 2:22 p.m. Pacific time on my lunch break. Smoking along with you.
It's a good cigar.
Listening to the Ask the Pulpit episode. Thank you so much for, that. That's awesome. Just wondering if you remember meeting me at the New England Cigar Expo last year. I met you and Ed. You were sitting at a round table before the expo even began because we had our VIP tickets. And so I was like, oh, I think that's Nick, and that must be Ed. So I went over and met you guys, but you probably met a lot of smoky brothers of the pulpit. So figured I'd give you a shout out, let you know that I was there. And also, since I'm smoking a McAuliffe Red Toro right now, wondering what your favorite McAuliffe color and size is for the McAuliffe cigars, and then maybe we can plug the new upcoming McAuliffe Purple and McAuliffe Green colors coming out soon. So now you got some more content for your next Ask the Pulpit episode, and you also have my thanks for answering my previous question. Stay smoky, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Well, James, I have to completely be honest. I'm sure we met. I'm sure you were very, very gracious and very wonderful to meet. However, I will admit, I did meet a lot of people that weekend. And, however, I'm trying to think if Ed and I were sitting at a round table, I'm betting this is probably on Friday, maybe like before the dinner, in which case I do remember there was a few people that came by. So, I'm not going to lie, man, I'm sure we met, and I feel really bad for not remembering you off the top of my head, but we'll meet again. I mean, I appreciate the phone calls. As for the McAuliffe question, my favorites of the ones that are out right now, the black, the blue, and the red, my ranking goes black, red, blue. Blue is my least favorite of the three. I find it to be just the more mild of the three, and that's fine. McAuliffe's doing well with putting something out for everybody. Personally, I think the black in the Toro size, in my opinion, that's aces. I'm all good with the black and the Toro size. I am looking forward to trying both the purple and the green. I know that the purple is part of the Cigar Authority show pack for this month, and I received that while I was down and out and sick, and haven't even opened it yet, but I know that it's part of it because people go online and spoil what's in the pack. But anyway, the bottom line is I have that, and so I'm looking forward to giving that a try. And I'm assuming, I believe we have a time set up with McAuliffe to talk with them at PCA. So that'll be good. We'll get PCA on the books, and hopefully we can get some purples and greens there. But I don't know if they're going to have greens, but I would think they'd at least have purples, because those are going to be launching like right around the same time. So anyway, yeah. So no, I do enjoy the McAuliffe cigars, and I'm looking forward to trying the purple. So thank you for the call, James. I'm sorry I don't quite remember you exactly from the expo. I'm sure our paths will cross again, and you can, give me shit about not remembering, and then I'll remember you, because at that point it'll be an actual, like, I caught shit. And for some reason, that's what does it. Like, if I forget somebody's name, if I ever have to actually, like, awkwardly ask them again, I will never forget that name after that. I'm bad about names. I'll remember faces, but I do struggle with remembering names sometimes. So, whatever. Anyway, moving on to the next call here. Looks like two of them, and yeah, okay, so we'll do this first one.
Nick. Frank from New Jersey.
What's up?
Probably been over a year since I called the Ask the Boys hotline.
Oh, I appreciate the call.
Probably, honestly, back in the we won't name him days.
Well, then it's closer to 2 years, buddy.
I'm listening to your latest Ask the Boys episode about, and you've gotten to the part where you are talking about what you're watching, and you're talking about the White Lotus, and I don't get how anybody watches it. I've watched season 1, 2, and 3, and I can tell you what keeps me watching is the fact.
Uh-oh. Oh! No!
I forget what season 2 was. Season 3 is the shooting. And you spend the entire episode trying to figure out how each character they're talking about, how does that character fit into that narrative? And that's the intriguing part of White Lotus. They're not interesting. Yes, they're all douches. But you're wondering, how the fuck do we end up at this situation with all these characters?
I'll agree with that.
Anyway, I know you explained also in this episode what happened to my cigar club, or whatever it is with Nick, or tried to. Whatever happened to Dan the Man at whatever cigar shop that was?
Yeah.
And Martinez Cigars. I know you say they're business relationships, but they seem to be, you guys were all about it, and then it just seemed to fall apart. Not fall apart, but just suddenly they were gone. Still listen to the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. Love it every week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
So Frank, as it pertains to Dan and Martinez Cigars, I am going to plead the fifth on that one. Only because, that one, like I said, those are business relationships, and those things happen, and we're just going to leave it at that. And I don't want to cause any additional drama than whatever. But let's just, say that sometimes, one party makes a decision that that impacts the other party, and you kind of just have to decide whether or not you're going to cut your rope and move on, or if you're gonna stay anchored to them. And I opted to move on. So that's where things are at there. It is what it is. I not airing all the dirty laundry. So we'll leave it at that. So yes. you called one more time, so let's listen to the second one here.
Nick, Frank from New Jersey again. I was just thinking, because we haven't had one of these in a while, and I know you're going to do it, so I won't even say what it is.
Oh, God.
My question for you is, would you rather perform one 10-minute blowjob or 10 one-minute blowjobs?
Oh my
Can't wait
God.
to hear your answer. Can't wait for the protocol that's going to be implied. Have a good one.
I was going to say, I know exactly what you're doing. You're setting me up for an Adam protocol. And, I haven't done one of those in a very long time. It is still on the board. You know what, Frank, just for you, because you teed it up, because I think you really wanted me to do it, I'm going to give you the Adam protocol.
Red alert.
Yeah, so the Adam protocol, for those of you who have never encountered this before, is named after a gentleman named Adam who called in with a question one time that was so incredibly wretched that it just could not be answered. That it was too far, it was too over the line, and it was vetoed. And so that forever became known as the Adam protocol, and that's where I have the choice to not answer. And along with that, it goes with that catchy little drop there, with all sorts of different like alarms and buzzers and things to indicate that it's the Adam protocol that we're kicking in. So anyway, Frank, thank you for the calls. It's nice to hear from you again. And, sorry I wasn't really able to give you too much intricate detail. Answers to those questions are more live in person without recording device kind of answers, if you get what I mean. So anyway, moving on to the next call here. We got a call right here.
Hey, Jerry, please.
Jerry, please.
A bit of a predicament I find myself in, as it turns out. I have developed quite a substantial rash on my inner thigh, as it were. And apparently it is not covered under my Anytime Fitness membership for them to look at it, as I was rather forcibly reminded of such.
Oh, the phone went into standby mode. Hang on.
Anywho,
oh my God.
Seeing as how you are my emergency contact, I was wondering if you could kind of troubleshoot me through this here.
Oh, Lord.
It is rather red. It is raised. It is welted and bubbly, and under a certain light, it does slightly resemble a profile of Steve Buscemi, as it were.
Steve Buscemi. Yeah, it's annoying.
Anywho, if you have any advice as to how I could cure this, or even how I got this in the first place, it would be appreciated. Let me know if this hotline takes photos, or if you could give out your personal number on here, and that I can text you the photos.
That's
Thank you for your help.
Yeah, Jerry, unfortunately, I will not be passing out my personal number on this hotline so that all of you people can start texting me a variety of different photos, and Lord knows what it could be of. As for your rash, have you tried hydrocortisone cream? Just hit it with some hydrocortisone just to see if that brings down the redness and the welting and the itching a little bit. See if you can get that down. In terms of what it could be, I mean, I don't know. Are you washing off the equipment before you use it at the Anytime Fitness? You gotta wipe down the equipment. Get the previous person's sweat off the equipment before you use it. Otherwise, dude, I mean, with you and your lifestyle, Lord knows what it could be. Hopefully it's not anything, too serious or sexually transmitted. Resembling Steve Buscemi, that's a little specific and odd, but, what else? I'd try some hydrocortisone cream. Hit that with that, first and see where you go from there. And if that doesn't work, then I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So, all right, moving on to the next call here. We have 2 calls here. Okay, here we go.
Open parishioner Peckerheads, how you doing? This is Trey Mac. Out on the road, like always. Just got done with the stint in the Carolinas, and then coming back now from the Florida Panhandle. Spring break in Pensacola and Destin.
Ooh.
That was a good time. Traffic sucked, but, 7-hour drive took 11 hours. But we're back in Orlando now. And I just want to give you a little update into life on the road, a little peek into the life. Right now it is 8:01 p.m. on a Saturday, and I am driving to go procure some dong. Yeah, you heard that right.
What?
Go buy some dong. Those of you that know, you might know. Anyway, that's what we're doing on a Saturday night. Go find some dong near you. I'll give an update once I return.
Okay, he must have returned because he called back. This is unusual because, quite frankly, I didn't know that Trey Mac swung that way. So let's listen to the update.
Parishioners, it's your boy Trey Mac again. Just want to let you guys know.
Sounds different.
The dong is in the bag.
Oh my God!
I repeat, the dong is in the bag. It's secured. I got to admit, walking around here, there's lots of people at this place, and if they only knew how much dong I had right now,
braggart,
I wouldn't make it out of here alive. So, go get your dong, folks. Everybody, go get the dong. Trey Mac out.
I know he's talking about something other than what we think he's talking about, but quite frankly, I don't know what he's talking about. So, yeah, Trey Mac going and procuring dong in Florida, which, given the state of Florida, Lord knows what that could mean. I mean, I don't know. I know the dating scene has been a little rough for Trey Mac down there. He's been a little hard up. So, maybe he's decided to go, maybe it's one of those things. Tinder wasn't doing it for him, so maybe he switched over to Grindr. I don't know. But that was unusual. So, anyway, I'll have to call him and find out more details or at least ask him at PCA because, I don't know what's up with the dong procurement. So, anyway, okay, well, moving on. We have a couple more calls here, so. Maybe. This one's going to spin until it starts. Give that a... There we go.
Hey, Nick. It's Dennis from Western Canada calling again. Hey,
what's up, Dennis?
Just in the middle of listening to your latest episode about cigars, haggis, whiskey, calls from listeners. Hey, Dakota, thanks for the tip on Porthick in Scotland. I'm going to pass that one on to my daughter. I don't know if she'll try haggis. She might. She is planning a trip that way next year with one of her friends. And just listening to Nick's coffee thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't pair cigars with coffee or whiskey. If I'm doing one, I usually don't have one with the other. But I did have a tip for Nick if he ever comes to Canada.
Okay.
At Tim Hortons, there's a coffee, I believe they call it a 99. 9 sugars and 9 creams. So
Bam!
If you like a lot of sugar and cream in your coffee,
yes!
I think that might be one to try.
Yes!
If you want actually really good coffee in Canada, McDonald's has good coffee here. I know that sounds strange, but their coffee is really good. And if you want, say, the higher end, well, I don't know, Starbucks is so expensive. I like their coffee. I don't go there often, but when I go there, I got to have a cookie too. So my waistline doesn't need that. But hey, buy it with my bottle money. I feel good. When I have something more intelligent to say, I'll call you back, Nick. Stay smoky, buddy. Bye.
Good coffee tips there, Dennis. I've heard good things about McDonald's coffee. Again, I don't know how to order the shit. I don't know how to order it the way I like it. And so, it's one of those things where I tend to not order coffee out. I tend to just make it at home and take it with me. Now, knowing about this Tim Hortons 99, now granted, I don't think we have Tim Hortons around anymore. For a hot minute, maybe about, I don't know, 10 years ago or so, Tim Hortons made a push into my area, and we had one, maybe 10 minutes from my house. And I like the little Timbits, the little donut holes, and that sort of thing. And we're good. It was good. It was a good place. But I didn't try the coffee because I wasn't drinking coffee at the time. But now they're gone, and so I'm not getting the 99 around here. But maybe I'll have to see if McDonald's will do 9 creams and 9 sugars and just kind of go at it that way. In terms of Starbucks, again, it's so fucking complicated to order a coffee from them. I mean, so when I go to Starbucks, typically I get an iced tea. Now, I drink my iced tea with no sugar. I drink it straight, just unsweetened black iced tea. So for me to get a large unsweet iced tea at Starbucks, I have to order a Trenta iced black tea with no sweetener. That is the most obnoxious order. It took me forever to remember Trenta as the size, and because I for the longest time I was just pulling up to the Squawk Box and being like, I need the largest black iced tea I can get. And they're like, oh, you want a Trenta? And I'm like, well, I guess. Okay. So finally I remembered the term, and now I remember what I want. But yeah, it's just so damn complicated getting drinks these days. And so, yeah. Anyway. All right. Dennis called back, so we got another call from Dennis here.
Hey, Nick, it's Dennis calling. Just listened to the most recent episode of Mr. Jonathan and John Calder there. Sorry to hear you're sick, buddy. Hope you recover soon. And I did not take Mr. Jonathan's advice. I did not stick the lit end in my mouth.
That's good.
Take her easy. Stay smoky, Nick. Bye.
I appreciate the call. And you know what? This brings up another point. I want to thank Mr. Jonathan and Mr. Calder? John Calder? Collier? Anyway, I think it's John Collier. The Johns. I want to thank John and Mr. Jonathan for taking time out of their day and doing an episode and trying their best. I sent him show notes, and it's one of those things that I have my format, I have my sequence of doing things. Things roll off the tongue easily for me now, and it is what it is. And they do the same thing with their show. If I had to stand in and do an episode of The Authority, it would not be natural for me to do so. And so, the transitions from segment to segment and all that would be awkward and clunky. And I get that. I respect that. But, I want to thank them for doing that episode for me because, they didn't have to. And it gave me at least one piece of content in between, my last episode and this episode. As it is, I missed 2. That would have been 3. So I'm thankful that I only missed 2 and not 3. And it's nice to have some backup. Realistically, that's where having an actual co-host would come into play. But sometimes you got to lean on friends, and so I do appreciate the assist. It was very nice of them, and they had some good content in there. I'll admit there were a few times that it was like, okay, you guys are dragging a little bit, but that's just me being picky. And I can pick on Mr. Jonathan because he freely picks on me, so it's okay. It's no big thing. But no, he did very well, and I deeply appreciate the assist. So. Anyway, moving on now. We have one more call here.
Bishop Nick, what's up, man? I hope you don't mind me calling you Bishop Nick.
What's up?
It sounds good. Anyway, my name is Tehran, calling out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Big fan of yours, man. 2 quick questions for you. First question is, what type of humidor you use? Are you a typical, your desktop box, electric, Rubbermaid, Tupperware? What kind of humidor do you use? And also, question number 2 is, what is your typical go-to everyday smoke? For me, mine's is Leaf by Oscar Sumatra. Love it. Beautiful, creamy notes that I get, like a caramel. So let me know what you got, man. And also, man, blessings and prayers to you. I heard you were sick. Hope everything goes well for you, my man. All right, brother. Take care.
Thank you so much for the call, man, and I appreciate the well wishes. Took some time, but I'm better. I'm rocking and rolling. Like I said, I'm coming at you now about 95%. Hopefully, in the next week, I'll be sitting at 100, and it'll be just in time. I mean, that's the thing. By the time I'm fully better, it'll probably be just in time to get on a plane and travel to New Orleans. So, you got that going. So, this could have been much worse. If this would have all kicked in while I was down in New Orleans, I'd have been fucked. Like 8 ways from Sunday, straight up fucked. So, I'm happy that this happened here and now before then. So, humidors. You're asking, am I a desktop humidor? Am I an electric humidor? Am I a Tupperdoor? I am a D, all of the above. So I have 2 different desktop humidors. I've got my very first one that I bought way back in the beginning when I found one on Amazon with a glass top. And, it supposedly holds 50. Realistically, it's not a bad box. It's one of those ones. I don't think the seal on it is perfect. It's not great, but that's the one that I put my go-to smokes in. So I rotate cigars through there fairly regularly. And so it does just fine. Load it up with some Boveda packs, throw the cigars in there. It does just fine. It's not a big deal. I have another one. The other desktop humidor I have, it's probably about a 250 count. It's a really nice humidor that I won at the Kansas City Cigar Festival in 2019, and it's a limited edition Avo humidor, and I think it's out of 50. I think they made 50 of them, and I have one of them. I don't remember the number, but it is numbered. There's a number plate in the inside telling you what number of 50 I have, and it's very nice. And so I've got that one loaded up with some other, goodies. Then I have my quote-unquote electric one. So I did not go out and buy the official electric humidor because I wasn't going to spend that kind of money. So what I did is I went out and I found a broken Winador on Facebook Marketplace. The kind... It's maybe about 3 feet tall. It's got a couple of shelves in there. Normally, it would have the refrigeration portion to where you could temperature control it. It's got a real good seal on the thing, and but the compressor's bad. So you'd have to replace the motor or the compressor in order to get the motor working so that you can actually refrigerate. I don't care about that. The temperature, it stays inside the house, so it's temperature controlled as it is. So all I did was I bought a Cigar Oasis. I put that in there, and that regulates the humidity. The Cigar Oasis cord, from the actual unit to the power cord, there's a ribbon, and it's flat, so you can thread it through the door so that when you open the door, there's the little gap, you put the ribbon power cable through there. But then when you close it, it still seals, and it doesn't, have like a little gap. So, if you have a bigger humidor and you haven't looked at a Cigar Oasis, they're marvelous machines. And so I've got one of those going. That's where I store my boxes. So I have boxes of cigars stored in there. I have one tray that I have in there that has some singles in it, but for the most part, that's box storage. Then I have 2 Tupperdors, big, airtight, watertight, Rubbermaid containers with the snap closures, and I've loaded them up with Boveda packs, and I just put mostly singles. There's a few boxes that maybe didn't fit in the Winador, but mostly singles are in the Tupperdors. And to be honest, the singles in the Tupperdors, they tend to be cigars that they're not cigars I'm like looking for on the regular. They're the ones that, like, you know, you go to an event, you get a bunch of cigars, you parse through, you figure out the ones you like and the ones you don't, or not necessarily the ones you don't, but the ones that you're not like super enthused about, and you put those in there, and the rest of them go in the rotation. So those are kind of my back stock, my inventory stock. You know, somebody comes over and says they want a cigar, dig through that, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, you know, we'll figure it out. But I mean, there's probably some really good stuff in there. It's just stuff that I'm not like dying to smoke right off the bat. You know what I mean? As for daily smokes, I go through. I'm fortunate enough that with everything that I have, I kind of can vary things up. But prior to getting sick, my daily rotation, I usually have about 5 going at any given time. You know, 5 ones that are kind of in the regular rotation. And for me, right now, I'm rocking through the Perdomo 20th anniversary Sungrown in the Epicure size. To be honest, most of the time, it's the Perdomo Habano Sungrown in the Churchill. However, when I was at the expo, I got a box of the 20th Sungrown Epicure, 20th Sungrown Epicures. And so I've been working through that. The McAuliffe Black Toro, we talked about McAuliffe earlier. That's in the regular rotation right now. I think I just ran out of Foundation Habano, the Charter Oak Habanos. I think I just ran out of those, but that's one that I normally do kind of keep in the rotation and smoke on the regular. The Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real Nicaragua, love that cigar. Used to have a place where I could get a box of that super dirt cheap, but he hasn't been getting in the boxes lately, and so I've been having to just kind of buy them by the single. And then what's the last one? Oh, the Brick House Natural in the Toro. For a easy, you know, value, budget-friendly cigar, the Brick House Natural Toro is a good one. Runner up in that same category, that Zeno Nicaragua, with the yellow band with the white Z on it. That one, I really like in the Corona size, in the tin, where it's already, you know, clipped and it's just ready to light and smoke. Ed Sullivan got me on those when I was out at the expo, and holy shit, man, that's when you got 30 minutes and you're looking for a good cigar, that Zeno Nicaragua in the Corona size is really good. Villiger exports are also really good for that. But the Toros of that Zeno Nicaragua, I have those in my regular rotation. They kind of swap in and out with the Brick House, just mostly due to the price point on those. So anyway, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it, and it's nice to hear from somebody new. So anyway, and I think that would be all the calls that we have. So guys, get in on the fun by calling the Ask the Pulpit hotline, area code 863-874-0000. Well, I lost my cigar during that. I don't know when exactly it went down, but at some point I lost it. So hitting that with a little bit more fire, getting it going again. There we go. All right, well, while we do that, let's do this. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. So, you would think that being laid up in bed for as long as I was and being sick and everything else, that I would have just been watching all kinds of stuff, right? You would have thought that. However, my problem was that it was very hard to concentrate. And what was happening was I would start something, and then I'd lose concentration, and I'd fall asleep, and that sort of thing. And so, unfortunately, what that meant was I had to kind of pick shows that were kind of easy to watch, easy to slip in and out of sleep, and if I came back, then it's like, I didn't really miss much. So I watched a whole lot of Simpsons and Top Gear in the past 2 weeks. I've probably burned through so many episodes of Top Gear on Amazon Prime. It's ridiculous. Because let's be real, it's three guys doing goofy shit with supercars. So that was real easy for me to fly in and out of. And Simpsons, Disney Plus, apparently started some sort of a live stream on their service to where you just hit play and they're running every episode in order, starting with season 1, episode 1, going all the way to the end, and then circling back, apparently. And so when I'd get bored with Top Gear, I'd switch over to Simpsons. I'd turn it on. I'd watch like 3 or 4 of those in a row. I'd, go to bed, something like that. And again, mindless. I saw some episodes that I hadn't seen before, some of the more recent stuff. Boy, it's gotten really rough recently, hasn't it? It's gotten really fucking different. But anyway, yeah, so I've watched a lot of that. Now, I did attempt to start the second season of Severance because I knew that was ending. That was ending about halfway through my sickness. But admittedly, I only made it through 2 episodes because that's one of those shows that you have to concentrate on what's going on. And so I only made it through the end of episode 2 of season 2. And so I've still got more to go on that. As for the other shows that I'm kind of watching right now, White Lotus, Righteous Gemstones, and Daredevil, again, same situation. I'm behind. I didn't watch last week's, and I didn't watch this most recent one. So I'm 2 episodes behind on all of those now. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to play catch up a little bit, but it's okay. I'll play catch up. I'll get there, but I couldn't concentrate. I just could not concentrate on anything because, like I said earlier, I'm sleeping in 2 and 3 hour chunks, and so throughout the day, randomly, I just start getting tired as hell, and so I've been taking a lot of day naps, things of that nature, just to get by and kind of keep everything going. So anyway, so yeah, that's been the Villiger Entertainment Report. It's been, despite being sick, I did not really watch a whole lot of captivating stuff because I just did not have the brain power to do so. But anyway, now before we get into the Blackbird segment here, I want to talk a little bit about this cigar because I'm about halfway through it. I'd say a little bit, maybe slightly past halfway. It's really this cigar is really good because there's some very light pepper notes. They're not very strong. You would think that they'd, I don't know, you for whatever reason I always from day one expected this thing to be super peppery, and it's not. It's kind of earthy, little cedary, kind of leathery. But by and large, it's the pepper. It's there, but it's just a little bit on the retrohale, not a ton. It's a very, very smooth, very good, well put together, and flavorful cigar. So I really do dig the Red Anchor. And this is my first time with this gunner size. I normally go for more of a Toro, but this one's been good for tonight. Something a little thinner, a little easier. First time back, so I'm digging it. So, all right, let's go ahead and do this. It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars, can't clip our wings. All righty, and I am looking forward to sitting down and chatting with Jonas at PCA coming up here soon. We got that set up. But first, in 1928, in his lab at St. Mary's Hospital in London, Scottish biologist and physician Alexander Fleming noticed that some mold was growing on a petri dish of Staphylococcus bacteria. And being a man of science and curious, he studied it and noticed that the mold was inhibiting the bacteria growth. He studied it further, isolating the mold, which he identified as Penicillium notatum, and the substance produced by the mold, which Fleming named penicillin, produced a self-defense chemical that could kill bacteria, and it became the first antibiotic to be discovered. So be like Alexander Fleming and Blackbird Cigars and don't let anybody clip your wings. That seemed particularly relevant to me given the fact that I have used a lot of antibiotics in the last 2 weeks. And so I was very thankful for the discovery of antibiotics and how they affect various things in the body. So, so thank you, Mr. Fleming, for your scientific insights there. Anyway, so as I record this, this is going to come out on Tuesday, April 1st. And admittedly, I had all sorts of plans for the April 1st show, guys. I was going to, I had it all scheduled out. I was going to be reaching out to people over the last couple of weeks, seeing if I could get little clips of them congratulating me on 5.5 years and how, it's been a good run, but, I'm shutting down the pulpit and I just don't have time for it anymore and all this kind of crap. I had this whole elaborate thing planned out. But I thought that if I come on here now and, after being gone for 3 episodes, I figured if I come on now and say, hey, I'm ending the pulpit, it felt a little off. So I scrapped my April Fool's Day plans. So there's that. But, no, one thing that I am not fooling about, though, is that we have a Pulpit Fest Brain Trust call scheduled for this morning, April 1st. And hopefully on that call, we will have a discussion about a few things that will result in me being able to come back and tell you that tickets are available. We are doing something different this year. So in prior years, it was just free to attend. Last year, it was free to attend. You just had to go on Eventbrite in order to get a ticket so that we kind of could, handle head count. That was okay. Where it became a problem is since it was free, it was easy for somebody to sign up and then just not show up. And then suddenly, a ticket has been used and wasted, because maybe somebody else that would have taken it couldn't have taken it because it was already sold out. And so this year what we're doing is we're kind of putting a little bit of extra to it. You're going to have to, tickets will be a paid thing. There's going to be 2 levels of tickets. The first level is just the basic entry level. That one, we're looking at like a $35 price point. However, what we're doing, Ken at the Ash and Ale has agreed that what we're going to do is that $35, you're going to get that off of your first purchase at the Ash and Ale. So it's basically like you're buying like a little bit of credit at the store, and then from there you are reimbursed when you actually show up to the event. So, it's just a way to kind of help guarantee that people actually show up. Now, there is going to be a second option, and this is where I can't give details just yet. But there is going to be a VIP option. Those tickets will be extraordinarily limited. We're talking maybe 10, 15 at absolute most. But the VIP option will be super cool. The only thing that I would say is if you're thinking, holy shit, I want to jump on the VIP, the dates for it are slightly different. There is an event that Thursday night that plays into the VIP option. So Pulpit Fest is technically on the books for Friday, August. Where in the hell? There it is. I was in September. Sorry. Friday, August 22nd through we say through Sunday the 24th. It's really mostly going to be on the 22nd and 23rd. The 24th is really just a very casual day. A lot of people leave to go home that day. Some people stick around. So, we're kind of sitting around smoking and shooting the shit. But that's a real casual day. But Friday the 22nd, Saturday the 23rd are the two big days. However, if you are considering the VIP, that will involve an event on the evening of Thursday the 21st. So just for planning, travel purposes, and everything like that, you're going to want to make sure that you're scheduling yourself to be in Palm Coast for the night of Thursday the 21st, because that'll be a really cool aspect, and you're not going to want to miss that if you're going to go with the VIP ticket. So hopefully I will have details about these tickets in the next episode for you. And then from there, we can get the ball rolling and start getting people locked and loaded and headed to Pulpit Fest. So we got that going for us. Anyway, in terms of the socials, I'm available on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook, where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. I'm on Twitter/X. I am on Rumble, where you can watch this. I'm also on YouTube, where you can watch this. However, I would say that if you're going to sign up and subscribe to the video side, Rumble would probably be the better place to go, because at some point or another, I'm sure YouTube's going to say that cigar content is no longer needed or wanted, and they're going to boot me off. So, Rumble is a good alternative. Also, if you're a Spotify user, I am not only on there with the audio version, but I do have the video version as well. So, that's another video option for you if you want. And by the way, for those of you who maybe were wondering, like, where the hell was this show? I did post on at least on Instagram and Facebook in the parishioners group that I was, out and wasn't going to make it. So, if you're not a member of one of those, that would be where you could find, that information. If maybe at some point, you wake up one Tuesday or Friday and suddenly there's no show, that would be where you would find out why. So anyway, I don't have 3 cigars we smoked to enjoy this week, because I haven't smoked 3 cigars in quite some time. And it's not Friday, so it's not time for a Pinky Fun Fact. So I think, and I need to relight my cigar anyway, so I think this is a perfectly good time to go ahead and call this an episode. Guys, thank you so much for being patient with me. I apologize for being away, but shit happens. So, I'm feeling better, and I'm already trying to figure out scheduling wise to get all the episodes done between now and PCA, so that's all locked, loaded, and ready to go, so I can go and do that trip and have everything in place. And so, we got business to take care of. So I'm back, and you guys got to put up with me now. So anyway, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody, stay safe and stay smoky. Later, guys.